Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Timisha, the Codepreneur. And on today's video, we are going to talk about how the heck can you increase your Domain 2 test scores, all right? Domain 2 is 55% of your exam. And what do we need to accomplish to raise this score? If you are like, yes, Timisha, this has been my struggle and my kryptonite for a very long time. How do I overcome these intervention questions so I can pass this exam? Well, I have the answer for you. Stay tuned. All right, guys, thank you so much for just being here and rocking with me all this time. I really appreciate it. As you can see, I'm in a different setting in this video today because I'm trying to run for my children so I can have some level of quiet. So if you hear them in the background, I do apologize. This is the best I can do with what I have. Okay, so in this video, you're here because you're like, you know what? Domain 2 has been a challenge. These interventions are challenging. And what can I do? What can I shake up to really help me get a better understand, to grasp hold on what I can do? So this is my advice to you. Now I have 4 things I want to let you know. 4 tips, I should say, that I want to provide you with. So the first tip is, and again, this is information that I've been providing to my students in my course, and I'm going to reveal it to you guys right now. So the first thing is, when you're looking at intervention questions, you want to think of safety, right? Whatever the coda is going to do in regards to the question, is it going to raise about harm? And what is going to be the safest thing for the patient? Okay, the question is not going to ask you straight out, what is the safest thing? You need to actually think about the question, okay? And you always want to think about safety. What is the safest thing, the most effective thing for that patient? And that kind of pulls us into the second tip, which is, what is the goal for the patient? Not the goal of the coda, but what is the ultimate goal that the patient in the scenario, in the question, is trying to achieve? Okay, so you're thinking about the safety and you're thinking about what is the ultimate goal that they are trying to achieve. All right. And then the next thing you want to think about is what I like to call the cycle of recovery. All right. So in a nutshell, you have a patient that has sustained an injury, illness, disease, and they are in your care, okay? And I like to call this the abnormal, okay? They're in a state of abnormality, and your goal is to transition them from abnormality back to some form of independence, right? Or normality, let's call it, all right? And there's a cycle that happens here. So when they come to you, they're in a state of lack. They are in a state of dependency. So what your plan is to do is, how are you going to move this person through the cycle, okay, to get them to the point where they're either a modified independent or completely independent? All right, so that's what you want to do. So it's like a cycle, or maybe it's like a rainbow, right? Getting them from one point A to point B. Okay, and right in between is your intervention. So when you're looking at the question, you want to think of what needs to be done to get them to this point. If the question is very specific, you want to ask yourself, what is either the initial, or a lot of times in questions, it might actually say, what is the initial thing? Also in the intervention question, it might say, what is most beneficial, right? These are all indicators when you're thinking about their goal, you're thinking about their safety, and you're thinking about what is the necessary steps or the cycle for that recovery. All right. And then the fourth thing that I do want to mention is I want you to think about memory retention when it comes to studying these intervention questions. You need to create a strategy and a structure to help you remember key points when it comes to intervention. Now, I just kind of gave you the layout and how to think about intervention, but then again, you still need to study. All right. There's some things that I tell you that you need to have a well-rounded understanding on, where you shouldn't actually memorize. And then there is other parts that you should memorize. So for example, you should memorize pediatric reflexes. You should memorize pediatric development. You should have a well-rounded understanding of pediatric diagnoses and what are the interventions often used to address those diagnoses, okay? And you need to put those definitions in your own words, so when you see that diagnosis on the exam, you already have a good understanding of what it is and what should happen, all right? So you see the difference there? Same thing applies for mental health. All right. When it comes to schizophrenia, you want to have an understanding of what are the kind of interventions that often happens when it comes to a person dealing with schizophrenia. And when you are studying in a manner where you are focused on how can I study in a way that provides retention, you want to look at either a mnemonic, which is what I use in my course. You want to think of chunking, which is like breaking parts into small pieces so you can really be able to grasp it instead of looking at everything in the whole. You want to be able to summarize key points. That's very important. You want to be able to use flow charts for yourself. Okay, so these are just little tips and nuggets on what you can do. So I hope that this is helpful. Definitely go ahead and apply this and come back and comment below and let me know what you think. If you want to be a part of my OTA community, I do offer a free Facebook group. Definitely get involved. Check the description in this video for access to that Facebook group. And I hope to see you guys inside. I hope that this was helpful. Go ahead and share your comments below and tell me what you think, and also be able to mention what kind of strategies you are utilizing to really help to increase that domain 2 test score. All right, until next time, guys. Bye-bye.